of business. Today we'll be looking at marginal cost. Marginal cost is essentially the cost of adding an additional element of a product in a specific production line. So it's the cost of producing an additional unit of a product. So in business systems, we use this to look at the efficiency in the economies of scale as you ramp up production across industrial system. So let's look for this particular one here. The cost per unit of a product over a total number of units produced. So what happens here is that as you begin to ramp up production, the cost per unit begins to drop. But after a certain period of time, even though you are producing more, the cost per unit begins to go up. This looks like an average fixed cost. What is happening here is that your cost efficiency has dropped, your unit economies are deteriorated because economies of scale has hit the diminishing returns. So this is what happens in industrial age companies, example like Dangote Cement. But when you come to digital age companies, you never have a scenario where these cost elements begins to ramp up even as the output begins to increase. So you go to a company like Facebook, as number of users are being added, there is never going to be a time when the cost per unit of adding an additional user begins to go up. What is happening here is that the cost efficiency and marginal cost of these digital companies actually improve even as the number of units produced continue to increase. So you see that it's going to near zero. Well, like here. So what happens here is that the scalable advantage in a company like Facebook is unbounded to continue to scale because nothing stops it from improving its cost efficiency. So you could see here is that as the cost drops, the value increases. So in other words, companies like Facebook, WhatsApp, these are largely digital companies. Their cost efficiency improves even as the value begins to ramp up. So when a company has that, the company has a very good reward. So the greater reward for an internet business is to attain near zero marginal cost. That is when the transaction costs and distribution costs tend to near zero. It means that the number of users ramping up as that happening even though the distribution and the transaction cost, which are the elements of the marginal cost, actually stays flat. So in your business, you need to look at how your cost efficiency can actually look like this because you attain a very great position in the marketplace when your marginal cost begins to tend to a zero.